This here is the all-new BMW 1 Series, the 1er as we say in Germany, and we have it in different trims, different engine specs, exterior and interior. Everything you need to know about the new 1 Series here with Thomas Nautical Fuel in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go, starting with the base model. This would be somewhat the base front, but it already looks sportier in the base, and interesting, the structure at the inside of the double kidneys, which is kind of connected in a way by this sensor field here. Interesting how they've done it. Cape York green is this color here on the exterior, and the lower part is already sporty when you have the base model, I have to say, with these black contrasts. Headlamps, optional, a matrix LED, adaptive LED, also equipped with this very vehicle here. Then we have a Skyscraper grey vehicle. This is equipped with the M Sport Pack, and that changes, first of all, these side air breathers. So this is a larger black area than here, in contrast to here, the base model, with this side air breather is a little bit smaller just, and grille is the same. The lower part is then different, where we have even more black contrast and this vertical part right here, so for a more dynamic look. And when you get the M Sport Pack, you not only get this sportier exterior, we also take a look at the rear and so on, but also the adaptive M suspension. However, they call it adaptive M suspension, but it's frequency adaptive damping, so it is passively adaptive, but you cannot actively change it, so it won't happen that when you go to the sport mode that the suspension is stiffer. So I always say, for me, it's not a real adaptive suspension, but they call it because it's passively adaptive. That's the thing. And it's also a little bit lower then. And you also get M Sport equipment on the interior. However, now for the first time, you can go for M Sport design if you don't want to spend so much more money, but still want the exterior look, because the M Sport design is basically the M Sport, but just on the exterior, not the interior and not the suspension equipment. So, I mean, that's a good idea if you just want to go for the looks. And the most extreme looks here with the M135, not M135i. The I is now cut off. We'll also soon at the badge at the rear, because they now have the electric models like i7, i5 and so on. And then they say, hey, we want to differentiate that people don't mistake the petrol engines for the electric one. The petrol engines will just have a number, and then the diesel will have the D, and the electric will have the I, and the plug-in hybrids will have the E, and so on. I think I can understand that. And here, the M135, the most powerful model they have here, has a special front double kidney with the horizontal elements in it. And if you go for the M Sport Package Pro, also the frame around the kidney is in black. So this one here, without the M Sport Pack Pro, would have this kidney on the inside like this, but not with the black frame, but with a brighter frame. So both will look cool. And then M Sport and M135i is same in the lower part, once again with this black contrast. The color here, this white, is called Alpine white. And it even gets you more contrast than, of course, the white and the black contrast here overall across the vehicle. Wheels from 17 to 19 inch. These here are the biggest ones available, the 19-inch wheels. They are even an option here for the M135i. Sorry, for the M135. Just learned it over 15 years, so it will come, at some point. Also with nice contrasting brake calipers. You always have them if you also go for the M Sport Package Pro, actually. Then here you can see also the contrasting side mirrors here. They are really large for such a small car, actually, but it's more than here. This aerodynamic effect also at the inside. These black frames around are even standard for the base model now, and also with a high gloss black. So far it was in the base version with the plain black, which didn't look so premium. So this kind of like an upgrade now. And then very interesting, you have this stamped in one here at the Hofmeister King design element here at the very rear and at the side. So I think it's a nice upgrade, definitely. Towards the rear, it's very cool because you can see these new signatures here in the tail lamps. Reminds me a little bit of the design of the BMW X2 as well. And there you can see it now, M135 and no I, once again, to not mix it up with the all-electric models. And this M Performance model not only gets this more expressive top part, but it's the only model actually that gets the visible exhaust pipes. We can see them down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really massive. This will also give us a nice sound for sure. And this is actually a good decision to go the sporty model with some visible, but then the other ones will be cleaner in design. Here you also have this large diffuser style in the rear, and the other models will be then a little bit more drawn back, so to speak. The length, by the way, here for all our models is 4 meters 36 or 172 inches. That's about 4 centimeters or 2 inches longer than before, so not a drastic change in the exterior dimensions. It's still a front-wheel based platform. However, this one here, our fella, has all-wheel drive. That means also power is sent to the rear wheels, but maximum is of course always 50-50. Towing capacity for the most powerful models, by the way, up to 1.3 tons. And this one here is then the 120. Once again, without an I. It's so unusual to see it just with the number at the rear of the BMW without the letter behind it, but we will get used to it. As I said, I think this is a decision you can very well understand why they did that. And here, this is then not the M Performance model, but this has the M Sport Pack. So there has, this diffuser style also in rear, very massive in the styling, but no visible exhaust. And the good thing is, no job for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police, because they said, hey, we go for a real performance model, or then we have it clean in the design. And I think that's a very good decision. Or what do you think about this? And let's take a look at the base model, because I think for a base model, this already looks quite sporty, doesn't it? So this one without the M Sport Pack, but still you have this black contrast. And the reason for that is that the BMW 1 Series has inside the BMW portfolio a relatively younger target group. And that's why they also want the base model to look already somewhat sporty. This Cape York green we recently also have seen with the BMW i5 Touring, by the way. These here, by the way, are 18-inch wheels. So again, 17 would be the base. This is already an option. And you can see here, even with the base model, the black frames here already in high gloss black. Tesla calls it chrome delete. But in this case, it was black, but plain black before, So I would like to know from you already, which one would you go for from the design? More the subtle look, somewhat in between sporty, or the most expressive, most aggressive look overall? Tell me in the comments. Now it will be super exciting because I'm going to show you 3 different interior specs, and then you can decide which one you like best actually. Key fob wise, depends if you have base or the M Sport model or then the M Performance model. Right side here for the M choices, left side base. I like the matte black as well. Door closing sound. Really solid. Let's check in the rear as well. Also solid, I like that. And then starting with the base model, inside of the doors is soft touch here, also with the structure. And then here you have like a bluish fabric, for example. This is then here a little bit harder. Optional Harman Kardon sound system. No covering at the inside of the doors in the lower pocket. This is what I would like still. Steering wheel. This is the new animal-free steering wheel, and it feels amazing actually. No one could tell a difference. It's more animal friendly and also less in the resource output. And then here, real knob still to put in the ACC. And then here on the right side to control digital instruments. And the form of the steering wheel, it's also pretty cool. Very sporty, I like that. Seats, they would either come with a base fabric seat in black. This one is already the sport seat. It has more shoulder and also side accentuations and so on. And the material here is called Econier. It's new. It's 100% recycling material. And it's, here and also with this blue color, outside gray. If it's the best one, maybe to the green exterior color, that's maybe doubtful. But you can, of course, combine it with the maybe like with the blue exterior or with the gray exterior color. It would look awesome. And yeah, they are very comfortable. It's, let's say, not that rough, so you can slide on it also just a little bit. And yeah, we have to see how it performs long term. It's definitely very interesting. So far, so good. The lumbar support, I would rather put it out. I'm not sure, are you a lumbar support guy? I'm usually don't have any advantages with that, but some others do. It depends on the body type. With 189, 602, still have some headroom left. Steering wheel is here, in and out, up and down, smooth way to control it. And new curved instruments. We'll soon take a detailed look at that. This one here is also structured, somewhat a soft touch. And this will be where the ambient lighting will shine through. Second interior, M Sport. Here we have a high-grade leather red on the inside covering. Also looks nice. Then you can see now here also how the ambient lighting shines through it here. So a very nice new feature. This is also an option, and in the middle part you can already see the M color, soon more details to that. This one also good with the M Sport steering wheel. This one here, however, is animal material. It's not that you could see or feel a difference, it's just a product decision by BMW. Yeah, but it's still a great step forward already for the materials. Here, look at that. This is then the Alcantara seat. This is also the Sport seat. And really nice bolstering, Alcantara on the inside, leather red on the outside, so the seat is animal free. And this would also be available with a full high-grade leather red, the so-called Veganza, in 4 colors actually that would be available, in black, black and red, brown, and also in the bright styling. So the seat comfort will more or less be the same in between the different bolsterings. It's just the surface is different, and this one, yeah, is really comfortable like that. Is it better than the Econeer fabric? I think it just depends personal preference, I would say. This is also really, really cozy. And once again, a lot of headroom left. There will optionally be also a panoramic roof available. Not a large one that goes all the way through, but actually a smaller one. But that one you can really open. This is also interesting to know definitely. Here the M Sport also has special shifting pedals here, also with the boost shifting pedal that gives you an additional boost, and also if you want to use that. And the cockpit looks even more different here from the other side when Leah goes around now. So I'll open the door for her. There we go. Oh, look at that in the ground, like the M puddle light. That looks also quite fancy. And if you look to the ground here, we also have M entry badges. That also looks fancy. Ambient lighting, yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Entry badge, and then here you have the ambient lighting. That looks also fancy on the right side for the passenger as well. And the M Sport model also comes then here with contrast stitching on the top dashboard. Here you can see for the M Sport available is here then this special ambient lighting, which includes the M colors. That's a nice detail too. And completely new, of course, for this new generation is this curved display, which is then split in 2 single displays. Everything digitalized. Also the climate unit is then here. Oh, look at that here. The ambient light also, we know that from Mercedes. Here when you put blue, it goes blue, colder, warmer is red. So yeah, on the right side, look at that. Yeah, nice one. And no, that doesn't change. Doesn't change there. But I think it's totally fine. So I like physical climate knobs, but at least they stay always in the very same area, so I guess we can actually live with that. And if you wonder how you get the M colors there, here, if you go to the Sport mode, then also the ambient lighting changes to M colors. Wait for it. There we go. Driver POV, digital instruments, or here the main infotainment unit, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto available. And with Apple CarPlay you can also bring Apple Maps to the left side. This is the car internal GPS at the moment. And with Android Auto you can also bring Google Maps to the left side, and here you can change the layout and also see the different contents, so it's somewhat adjustable. Head-up display is also available then with different views. And now the M135. This one has basically an M Sport Pack standard, so you also get here at the dashboard the contrast stitches, so that's pretty fancy. The only difference we see here is, however, an option, and that is here the M Sport seat with the integrated head restraint and the nicely illuminated M logo here inside. This is also pretty cool here with the perforation and lower part, once again the Alcantara. So the comfort itself is, I would say, comparable. Both are actually very nice. These ones are maybe a little bit firmer, however, I feel, but still good comfort also for tall people. And you see here, once again, also we have like this 12 o'clock marking in the front of the steering wheel. And we haven't talked about the middle console in this new 1 Series. Here, this is then like a leather covering. It's soft enough for your elbow, actually. And underneath, there's some space. Also good build quality, how this one here is attached. Then you have the shifting lever, all integrated. It's always with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, like this, forward, backward. nice manual volume jog still, good to have that. 2 USB-C chargers. The cup holders are not adaptive. This is one thing I really have to criticize, because it needs to have like adaptive functions, so to hold different sizes. Inductive charging pad in the front. And this one, very good development, is also now cooled. You see this cooling hole there. And then there's another space like underneath here. So this would be something extra actually. And the glove box is very interesting. Look at that. So the button for that is hidden underneath here, clean solution, and then it slides down like in a very smooth way. So this is also nicely done. Why not? And important, of course, here as for the smartphone connection, when you connect with Apple CarPlay, exactly looks like this. BMW OS 9, is it quick enough? See here when you swipe through CarPlay, or also in the main BMW menu like this. Yeah,
it's quick.
I think it's quite decent here. And I see Leah has already decided. Yes, she loves the M135, like also with the stitching and so on, also with the sporty look on the exterior and so on. Yeah, only she would go for the animal-free steering. That is sadly not available in the M Sport. Rear seats, first of all, the rear doors from the inside are also soft touch and structured. That's nice. Yeah, only the door pockets then, once again, just hard pack. And then here we also have the nice Alcantara on the rear seats. Always the same material that you have in the front is also in the rear. And these are all the sport seats we have here in the studio. Maybe the very base fabric seat will have a different legroom, but we don't have one in the studio at this moment. So here, the only legroom thing is, yeah, you need to use this legroom recess. Therefore, it would be better if the seat would be put a little bit higher. But you see here, it's kind of close as for the legroom. So for tall L's in the rear, kind of problematic. As for the legroom, you can, yeah, or put the legs a little bit to the outside. Headroom does exactly fit with 189 or 6'2", and yeah, the quality of the rear bench is also pretty nice. Just that in here, when you have these seats here, it's kind of a little bit firm, I would say. And the middle part here, fold down. These are somewhat adaptive, these cup holders, and you can also use just the ski hatch to fold just down the middle part like this. In the middle console, there's like this tunnel and 2 USB-C chargers. Next to the rear seats, by the way, also ISOFIX for the front seat. Trunk or boot, now at 380 liters. This is then the pure petrol version. Also give you a little bit more light in there. There we go. The width here is 1 meter or 40 inches, and the length is 75 centimeters or 29 inches. See here the luggage, no problem with the space. Then underneath, since this is here not the mild hybrid version, the 2-liter 4-cylinder, you have a lot of space also underneath. This is the only difference. In the top, all versions will be the same, and then to fold the seats, go around or reach over here. Yeah, reaching over here is kind of complicated as soon, at least when this is still in place. And then here, this is then 2/3, 1/3 split, but you can also use the ski hatch if you want the single split. And the total length to the driving seat is like 150 in meters or 59 inches. And if you go for the mild hybrid, difference here underneath, then there's just this front space here, but nothing here underneath because of the hybrid battery system or the MHEV system. Yeah, but I think you can live with it actually. The only thing here, as I was reaching over there, I already got a splinter here. So like this covering here, you should be always careful also with the edges and so on. As for engines, you start with a 1.5-liter 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine, which is also in here, the 120. And this is 7.8 seconds in the acceleration figure. This one here is equipped with a mild hybrid system. That is actually new, so you will have some recuperation moments. The consumption will be lower. Then again, the entry price will be a little bit higher. But this year, the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder petrol engine will also be available later on as a very entry model without the mild hybrid. This vehicle here is equipped with the very same engine. By the way, you can also get a 120D. That's also possible. This would also have the mild hybrid system. So on the diesel side, you have a 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel, also then with different horsepower specs, with and without mild hybrid. In the pinned comment and in the video description, we will also list you an engine lineup from everything we know so far. There will be more details coming up later. And then the top petrol engine will be a 2-liter 4-cylinder. either without the M135, there will be a version available, and this one in the absolute top spec here. Here then with 300 horsepower in the EU, 317 horsepower even for our friends in Down Under. So yeah, they just get a little bit horsepower extra for that. Acceleration figure here for this one is 4.9 seconds to 1 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour. And as I said, this one here also then gets an all-wheel drive, so front plus rear on demand. Pricing, taking the German reference prices, about 33,000 euros for a base model, and then goes up if you want to go for the M135. Still struggling a little bit with that. 56,000 euros with more bells and whistles, easily 60,000 euros and a little bit above that. So round about 30 to 60,000 euros, and then maybe a little bit more. But it already gets more standard equipment, and also the automatic is already standard now. Turning indicators, by the way, both in the front and also in the rear have this pulsing effect, and I can tell you, maybe you already see it on camera, they are super bright indeed. What do you think? Tell me your comments about the all-new BMW 1 Series, and main competitors, of course, are the Audi A3 and the Mercedes A-Class.